Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Drew, and if you are a new student, I am very excited for you because you're about to embark on a very exciting journey. You are going to begin a path for building a better future, and it's going to be awesome for you. But at the same time, with that experience, you're probably going to be in a brand new environment, and you may be surrounded by new people, new buildings, new content, and even new expectations for others and yourself. And that can be very overwhelming. But I assure you, everyone else is experiencing the exact same thing. Now, there are a lot of important things that you need to know if this is your first time experiencing the college experience, like how do you best manage your time or what study skills work best for you. But the one thing that I think you need to know right now is how to ask for help. Because when you're overwhelmed, you may feel alone. You may feel like you're the only one who doesn't know what's going on. But since everyone else doesn't know what's going on either, they just happen to do a better job of pretending that they do know what's going on. And so that's where you feel like, I don't know if I should be asking this question because I might be the only one who doesn't know. But also the thing to understand about your institution is that just about every department and employee understands this experience that you are going through, and they're almost expecting you to ask for help. So when you do start to ask questions or you do start to share that you're a little lost or confused, they're not going to be surprised, and they're in fact going to be very supportive. So it's about getting over that hump of acknowledging that you don't know openly and that you do need guidance and help. And so of learning to ask for help, I have a few suggestions. And one of them is being proactive, because what happens is I have a lot of students that I've worked with where they were very slow to learn how to ask for help because of what I had just mentioned. So they would almost wait until it was too late. Don't do that. Don't wait until you're failing that class. Don't wait until you have a past due balance or that your financial aid was not dispersed because you missed a deadline and you didn't know to ask about that. Because that is when it is very, very difficult, if not impossible, for others to help you. So be proactive and start to ask early and start to ask often. The other thing is trying to get over that uncomfortable feeling with asking for help, and that really comes from just doing it. You got to get over it. And I know there may be a lot of shame and embarrassment that comes with asking for help, but at the same time, you're a student. You're a student in a college experience. Everyone else is in the exact same shoes, and you're not supposed to know what's going on because you've never done this before. So you need to reframe and understand that, yes, I am in a new environment, and yes, I have not done this, and why would I know in the first place? And get comfortable with understanding and embracing, I don't know. And by asking and getting that support and those answers, I'm actually growing as a person. Because the only way to ultimately learn and to figure things out is to ask. Now, when you do ask for questions, I encourage you to, or when you ask for help, I encourage you to be very specific. Because a lot of times, students will come to me and they'll say, well, I don't understand this class. Okay, well, where do we start? Because we are midway through the semester, we've covered a lot of chapters. What exactly are you not getting about the class? And it may be the entire class that you're not understanding, but start somewhere. So if you're meeting with an instructor or a TA, get very specific in terms of, well, with this chapter or what we just talked about yesterday, there's this concept or there's this formula, I'm getting stuck. And can you please explain that to me? Because I don't think I'm fully understanding it. And the other side of that, what I would recommend is let people know what you have been doing. So when it comes to the academic side and you're saying, I don't understand this concept or this formula, you could say, I've tried this. So with this formula, I've tried to do this method, I've tried this approach or with this concept, I think I understand half of it. Can you help me understand the rest? Because that gives the instructors or the TAs a starting point to say, okay, let's talk about this. And they may even back up and give you the bigger picture voluntarily and really help you start to understand that. Now, the same thing applies to every other department. So when you go to financial aid, for example, say, I don't understand what this policy means, or I don't specifically understand what this charge is. Can you explain this to me? And is there a specific deadline? And they will start to explain that to you, and they may take you off into some other policies, and you could become more confused by that. And that sort of leads into my next suggestion is be open to what those responses are, because it may not be what you're expecting. So when you're asking a question, for example, about a charge, they may direct you to another policy or a different deadline or even a different department. And you could feel even more confused than when you initially asked. But the thing is, don't just say, okay, and walk away because you're too afraid to say you don't know that, because now you're back to the start. So when they do direct you to something new or say something different where you are lost again, say, I'm lost. What does this policy mean? What will this department do? Is there something that I need to share? Or even when you're talking to your advisor and you say, I'm lost, I don't know if I should change my major or not, tell them what you're thinking. I'm really good at this class, but I don't like it. Are there majors that are related to this? Or I feel like I'm so far in my degree path that it's too late to change majors, but I don't want to finish with this. What are my options? It's a give and take. It's a two-way conversation. So when you are asking for help, you have to be willing to share what you have done, where you're getting stuck, and where you need help. And if you don't know where you need help, if you use those first two techniques and say where you are getting stuck in what you have done, the other people that you're asking for help will be able to help you the rest of the way. So it's kind of complicated in asking for help, but once you do it, it really takes care of itself. So you really have to get comfortable with asking, and you're not irritating people. You're not annoying people if you're asking 20 questions. That's what they're there for. They are there as a resource to provide that information to you. Some people might feel like they're being irritated, but it doesn't matter because this is about you. This is your path. You need this information for your path and your journey. And the only way that you can move forward is with that and by asking questions. So do not feel ashamed. I hope this was helpful. I hope you do start asking questions. And if you have and you're a little uncomfortable with it, I hope these techniques or these strategies help provide more clarity to how to approach it in the future. So please do let me know in the comments if it has been helpful or if there are things you have done or if this does work for you. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe and share button, and I will catch you in the next one.